Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from AnthonyMorganti.com, and this is episode 180 of Photo Critiques. And in this episode, I'm pleased to critique the work of James Walsh. James sent in some really nice shots, a little variety too. This one here is a pretty cool shot. We have some nice color, the sky is really nicely done, and we have the leading lines of the power lines leading us through the shot. So it's kind of a study on contrasting colors. We have the yellows and oranges, warmth down here, and then we have the coolness up here of the blues, and it's really well done. Very nice shot. It's a simple shot. There's not really a strong subject in the shot. It's just really a study of the colors. So it's a pretty cool shot. This shot, exposure is very well done. Focus is real nice. The Jeep is in the shade, so it's kind of subdued. We have a bright background, which is okay, fine. Now, it's just kind of a shot. I don't have any of the camera information over here. If you were going to do this, let's say you were, shooting for Jeep and you were going to take this shot, you would need lights. So you'd get some lights on the Jeep and you would brighten up the Jeep a little bit. So the Jeep is bright. The ground around it's a little darker and the background would be bright. So that would bring the Jeep out a little more and make it jump out a little bit better. Because right now it's just kind of, a Jeep in the shade and a shot taken of it. Although technically, as far as the shot, focus, composition is perfect. Did a really nice job. This shot here is a nice shot. Couple things though, as I look at it, her eyes are a little soft. They're quite a bit soft. We really need to focus on the eyes. Now this one I have some camera information. So you're at f of 3.2, 50mm lens. So you didn't have a ton of depth of field. So it's extra critical that you be sure you get the eyes perfectly focused. Secondly, because it's an existing light shot and it looks like it's overcast, her face is a little dark and there's no catch lights in her eyes. And I can't overestimate enough how important it is to have catch lights in the eyes and to have their faces a little brighter. So you need to either use a little fill flash here, and the fill flash would put some small catch lights in her eyes and it would just brighten up her face a little bit and it would make her pop. It would make her jump out from the background better. So that's one way. You could try to use a reflector and try to reflect some of the light back up in her face, but that's going to be tough because it's overcast. So really, I think just a fill flash is the way to go on this shot. When it's an overcast day or you're really in a shady spot and you just need a little light, like 1/16 of a power, not to overpower anything else. You don't want to wipe out the background or anything like that. You just want a little light on her face and it will work out real well. It's a pretty cool shot. This is an environmental portrait. Environmental portraits, when you take a picture of someone in their environment, it's usually a worker, but not always, but a worker working in their environment. And in this case, we have the tattoo artist in the tattoo parlor putting a tattoo on a person. So, technically, I like the way you have it laid out. It's kind of diagonal. You have this girl who's getting the tattoo laying down and it's going diagonally through the frame, and that's makes the frame look nicely balanced. It's 1/60th of a second f of 1.8, so you did a nice job of making them separate from a relatively busy background by using that wide open aperture. Now the only thing that really I found wrong with the shot is the focus looks like, the focus looks like it's on her boot or her butt, like in here somewhere. And whenever you do an environmental portrait, you have to focus on one or two things. You either focus on the person whose environment it is, and you focus on their eyes. So this is the tattoo parlor, she's the tattoo artist, you'd focus on her eyes. If you're not going to do that, the other thing is you'd focus on what they're doing, Now in this case, it's hard. She's putting on a tattoo. You would focus on the tattoo, but you really can't see it. So this here, you really had no choice but to focus on her eyes, and that's what you would focus on. Let me put it in a different situation. Let's say you were photographing a glass blower, and they have that big hot kiln, and it's got the red embers in it, and they have the glass and a tube, and they're blowing through the tube to blow to do something with the glass. They're making a glass vase or something. Well, when you're photographing that, you're either going to focus on the glass blower's eyes, or if you don't want to do that, you're going to focus on the glass at the end of the tube. So one of the two things, you're either focusing on them or what they're doing, what they're creating. So, as I mentioned, in this case, you really had to focus on her face. You might have been able to get away with focusing on her face, but I think really it would have been a much stronger shot if you focused on the tattoo artist's face. Um, that's really, much not much else you could have focused on here. If you worked the scene and tried something different and tried to get where the needle, where you could get a shot of the needle and have her face in the background, and you took a similar shot later we'll get to, um, then you could do something like that. That would be interesting, where the needle was in focus and her face was a little more blurry behind it. So something to keep in mind when you're doing environmental portraits. It's a really nice shot of Antelope Canyon. This is like so highly photographed. These photographs of these all the time, and I really like what James did with this one. It's a little darker. Normally when I see this shot, this is very bright. But I like this a little dark. It just makes the colors look that much richer and fuller, and I think it's a really nice job. This is a nice shot. Now, unlike the other one where the eyes weren't in focus, the other two, I should say, the eyes are perfectly in focus here. Really well done. Lighting is real nice. It's kind of a study in black and white. You could see that she's got a black and white top on. It's all dark around her. She's laying on like a dark, dark blanket. She's got dark hair, but her skin is very light and the tattoos are very dark. So it's really a nice shot. Lighting is perfect. Really well done. Now this is that one I was referring to earlier where you focused not on the person, you focused on something in front of the person. And this is a nice shot. Did a really nice job. I think it's a really cool shot. Really interesting, kind of intriguing. You're wondering what it's about, so it gets people thinking. It's a nice shot. I like the leading lines, and she's in there and stuff, but she's just too dark. Again, it was like that earlier shot. There's no light in her face, and there's no catch lights, so it looks kind of just drab. Technically, you did fine. I think her eyes are in perfect focus. We have this bridge here and the train railroad ties going off or whatever. Not really railroad ties, but you know what I'm saying. They're just really nice, just really well composed. But we really need to brighten up her face a little bit. So all you would do is go in here, get a brush, not basic, I'm sorry. Put that back. Just go and get a brush, and we're going to bring exposure up a little bit, and we just want to brighten her face. Now you could do this in post like I'm doing now, but you're better off trying to do it in camera with a fill flash. So we'll brighten her face up a little bit. Typically when you do this, you just want to brighten up wherever her skin is. You don't want to brighten her dress. Usually, you just want to brighten up where her skin is. Now I'm going kind of quick and I'm talking, and those of you that know me know I can't talk and do like any physical activity at the same time because I'm really bad at it. So anyways, all we want to do is brighten her face up a little bit. There's before, there's after, before, after. Brighten the skin up a little bit, I should say. So try to do that though next time you're out on a photo shoot. Bring a flash, and if preferably if you could have an off-camera flash, radio controlled, and just 1/16 of a power, 1/8 of a power flash, just to splash a little light in her face. And I think it would really improve the shot a lot. And you just brightening her face, you're not going to be creating any shadows or no significant shadows, anything like that. Just a little light, and I think it'll really push these portraits you're doing over the top. One thing, yeah, that's the last shot. James, I really thank you for your work. Some really nice work. Like this one here, you could see where we had some actual light on her. And although we really don't see significant catch lights in her eyes, her face is much brighter and her eyes are brighter, and it really helps this shot pop. And whereas this one, you could see when it was before how much drabber it was. And this one over here too. It's just too dark, and this one has the focus issue too, where we really have to focus on our eyes. So that's it for James. James, thank you very much for sharing your work with us. I really do like it a lot. You did a really nice job, and I'd like to thank everyone that watches all my videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you have time, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com. I have all kinds of photography stuff over there. And I'd really appreciate it if you went to YouTube and subscribed to my YouTube channel. That's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.